indoors and out. Half a dozen people hovered outside the door, waiting for space to free up. It wasn't often that we had a line, and the booming business brought a smile to my face. An hour or so later, the rush of customers slowed slightly. Most of the tables were still occupied, but there were a couple of free ones inside, and there was no longer a line at the door. I was about to untie my apron and head into my office to take care of some administrative tasks, when one of the Flipside's regular customers arrived. Leaving my apron on, I grabbed the coffee pot and headed across the restaurant as Marjorie Wells pulled out a chair at one of the free tables. She kept her gray hair cropped short and was usually dressed ready for a workout. Today was no exception. She wore sporty shorts and a tank top with running shoes on her feet. As soon as she sat down, she removed her phone from her armband and set it on the table off to the side. "Morning, Marjorie," I greeted as I poured coffee into a mug, not needing to ask if she wanted any. "Will Eleanor be joining you?" Eleanor Crosby was one of Marjorie's closest friends. They dined together at the Pancake House at least once a week. "She'll be here any moment," Marjorie replied. I rested the coffee pot on the table. "Are you all set for the games?" "You bet. I've been training every day for months now. I can't wait to get out there and race next week." Although in her 60s, Marjorie was one of the most active people I knew. She swam in the ocean every day during the summer. She got around town either on foot or on her bicycle, and she played regular games of badminton and squash. She'd also taken up race walking in the past year or so, and when she heard that the Golden Oldies games would take place in Wildwood Cove, she'd wasted no time signing up to compete in that event. "I'm hoping I can be there to cheer you on," I said. "Thanks, Marley. Even if you can't make it, I appreciate the sentiment." "I'll definitely do my best to be there," I assured her before continuing on my way around the restaurant, refilling mugs for anyone who wanted more coffee. As I finished my rounds, Eleanor arrived. I waved to her before gathering up dirty dishes from a table that had recently freed up. I knew Lee would take Marjorie and Eleanor's orders, so I carried the dishes into the kitchen. When I returned to the dining room, a group of 4 adults had just entered the Pancake House. I directed them to an open table and made sure they each had a menu. 3 of the new customers, 2 fair-haired women and a man with graying dark hair, appeared to be in their mid to late 50s. Their clothes were fairly casual but looked expensive, as did the gold jewelry the 2 women wore. The 4th member of their group didn't quite fit in, appearance-wise. He wore jeans and a form-hugging T-shirt that showed off his muscular build. He was good-looking, with golden blonde hair and blue eyes, and was probably in his late 30s, a few years older than me. As I filled coffee mugs, I noticed the woman sitting next to him place her hand on his knee. "I'm Marley McKinney, the Flipside's owner," I said as I filled the 4th mug. "Are you visitors to Wildwood Cove?"
"We are," the older man replied. "We're competing in the Golden Oldies games. Well, 3 of us are anyway. Levi's not a Golden Oldie yet."
He smiled at the younger man. The woman next to Levi gave his knee a squeeze. "Just golden." Levi grinned at her and covered her hand with his own. "Which sports?" I asked the group at large.
"Tennis,"
the older man said. He offered me his hand, and I shook it.
"I'm Easton Miller. My wife, Rowena, and I are competing in mixed doubles, and Pippa here," he nodded at the woman next to Levi, "is in the singles event." "Is that how you all met?" I asked. "Through tennis?" "No," Pippa replied. "Tennis just happens to be a shared interest. Rowena and I go way back, and she and Easton went to school together." Pippa smiled as her eyes met Levi's. "And Levi's my personal trainer." Very personal by the looks of things, but I kept that thought to myself. "Good luck with the games," I said with a smile, "and welcome to Wildwood Cove. I hope you'll enjoy your stay here." I left them to look over their menus, after assuring them that Lee would be there to take their orders shortly. The Pancake House was nearly full again, so I quickly gathered up dirty dishes from a table by the window, wanting to free it up as soon as possible. "It should be cool,"
Tommy Park was saying to Chef Ivan Kaminsky as I entered the kitchen.
"I'll get a press pass so I'll have up-close access to all the events."
Ivan acknowledged his assistant's statement with a nod as he flipped pancakes on the griddle. "Press pass?" I echoed, setting my load down on the counter by the dishwasher.